Hello everyone, it's been a while since I recorded a video, so I thought I would share something. And since I have some time on my hands, I thought I would talk about time. So I'm going to offer a new way to have a relationship with time that paradoxically might give you the sense that you have more of it. But I'll begin with a reading, short reading. Try to imagine a life without timekeeping. You probably can't. You know the month, the year, the day of the week. There is a clock on your wall or the dashboard of your car. You have a schedule, a calendar, a time for dinner or a movie. Yet all around you, timekeeping is ignored. Birds are not late. A dog does not check its watch. Deer do not fret over passing birthdays. Man alone measures time. Man alone chimes the hour. And because of this, man alone suffers a paralyzing fear that no other creature endures, a fear of time running out. And that's by Mitch Albom from his book, The Timekeeper. So it's sort of tragic that we alone are the only species that live with a paralyzing fear of time running out. I was talking to a coaching client the other day, and he confessed to me that he missed the lockdown. He missed those days where everything had come to a standstill and where he had time for himself, time to go in, sort of be with who he was. And now that things were returning to some sense of normalcy, he felt time speeding up and that he was losing that time for himself. So how do we begin to negotiate some of that and sort of create the sense of time? So I want to offer some distinctions, a discernment actually, and this is from David Steindl-Rast, who is a Benedictine monk, quite elderly now, and also something of a Zen scholar. And he talks about the double realm of time. And so one part of the double realm is the sense of linear time. And that's the time of the clock. That's the time of the day I was born, I live my life, and then I die, right? And so the time has run out. And that's linear time that we all move along in our trajectory. And a step up from that is, there's a lot of talk about being in the present moment. And so one way we think of that is that there's a present moment, and then it moves into the next moment, and we have a string of present moments. And if we can just stay present in all of these, we're being present. And certainly that is a step in becoming more present. But what we do with that is we divide each moment into the past and into the future. So if we take an hour and split it, there's the 30 minutes of the past and 30 minutes of the future. Right? And if we go down to a minute, it's 30 seconds of the past, 30 seconds of the future. If we split a second, half a second before, half a second after, you get my drift. So we can do this for milliseconds and the trillionth of a second, and actually we can keep trying to split this to infinity. So in a sense, that splitting the moment to infinity doesn't really serve us much either. But at least we're beginning to have a sense that there is something called the present moment in which we can be fully absorbed and present and not caught up in thoughts about the past of what happened or abstractions or concepts about the future, right? And the truth is we can't experience the past again. It's over. The future has yet to happen. And so in our sense of linear time, we can only really experience the past and the future in the present moment, in this present thinking or mind game around it. So everything can only be experienced in the now. So let's get back to Steindl-Rast. He talked about the double realm, right? So one of them is, again, the sense of linear time. And the second is what he calls the larger container of the eternal moment. And the eternal moment is not anything that can be split, because that concept of splitting into past and present, which can happen infinitely, only happens in our human sense of linear time that we alone as a species have, right? No other creature does this. They all just live by the natural rhythm of nature, of changing light, of changing temperatures, of changing seasons, which again, all of that happens, like our lives, within the eternal now. And this is really a sense of eternity, of the eternal now, ever present. And it's hard to get our minds around because we exist within the constraints of our thinking around our time-space reality. And so linear time is what we can easily grasp. It's how we live our lives. Paradoxically, though, that's where we end up losing our sense of time. So you know how it is. We get busy, and you know people who run around all day, they're busy, they've got this, they've got that. They've got a to-do list, right? There's so much to get done, and they have to tick things off. And then we're always leaning into the next moment. What's next, what next? And we feel when we get it all done, we'll have a time to breathe and just sit and be. And then we found that the whole day has gone by. We may not remember what we did. And then suddenly we say, oh my gosh, the whole day went by, and have no idea where the time went. Well, in a sense, the time did not go anywhere, because there is only the eternal moment. It was just our sense of chronological time that got us into trouble. And we missed out on that experience of being present, of having time in the day, because we were too busy trying to use the time more wisely. So the paradox is when you really can begin to slow down and touch the eternal moment, just touch it every now and then, or as much as you can without trying, then our whole sense or relationship with time shifts, and suddenly it transforms. And then, in a strange sort of way, we begin to sense something larger than ourselves. We begin to sense some unfolding of the world, of creativity, of space and time beyond our constricted local sense of who we are and all the running around trying to get things done. You know, one of the ways you can do this just to really slow down is do meditation, right? And you can meditate for hours and days. And I read I was on a website, and someone noted, a meditation teacher, of how they had logged 10,000 hours of meditation time. And while time like that sitting helps you experience and get better at being present, the paradox is that the more time that you spend sitting and doing that, you get better at something. But if you're trying to use it to get a sense of being present, it's actually quite meaningless. Right? You can sit for an hour or 10,000 hours and never have a sense of full presence, awareness in the eternal moment, the eternal now, or you can sit for 5 minutes and experience it for 10 of those seconds. So the paradox is when we can give up the sense of linear time or loosen its grip on us, we have the opportunity to become aware of, in whatever way we can, to the eternal presence, that double realm, within which the linearity of our lives is located. And when that linearity of our lives comes to an end, that eternal moment, the eternal now, is in fact eternal. So I'll leave you with that, and I'd be happy if you have any comments or thoughts on that to share them with me as we kind of explore something that really is a little bit beyond our understanding, and yet we have glimpses and moments of it where we touch that eternal present now. Yeah. Okay. Bye-bye.